Welcome to Good Game Edmonton, where we explore the culture of gaming and esports in the City of Champions. Of course, I'm your host, Sellarcast. Joining me on this second installment of our NorQuest Esports trilogy, I got Angel Villavert and Charlie Sackey, and of course, Carlo Martin. Angel is a first-year accounting technician student, and Charlie is a third-year justice student. And of course, Carlo is the business development officer at NorQuest College. Thanks again for joining us today on this installment. Really appreciate it, all three of you.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. So let's get started. We're shaking things up a little bit. We're on the competitive floor here at the Cory on campus. Really excited to be here. Carlo, I'm actually going to start with you. Since it came on my radar, I've honestly believed that esports lives at the intersection of business, creative, athletics, and community. That being said, let's look at where we are now, specifically for you guys at NorQuest. Lots happening, obviously, but I want to talk about varsity. We're well underway in the fall semester here of 2024. What's the lineup of games that we have going on at NorQuest Esports this year, and why these particular games?
Yeah, so this year we introduced our first year of doing athletic scholarships.
Okay.
And we are in the ECAC League.
Okay.
In 8
What does that
titles.
stand for those that don't know?
Eastern Athletic Collegiate Conference.
Okay.
They have an esports league. And it involves a couple hundred North American institutes, post-secondary institutes. And we do a league that started in depending on the title, started around the end of September or the first week of October.
Okay.
And goes for a fall season with the playoffs beginning second week of November. We're in 8 titles this year. So we have Valorant, League of Legends, we have FC25, we have Street Fighter, we are in Call of Duty, we are in Apex Legends, and we are in Tekken 8. We are about 31 competitive athletes.
Wow.
And they're all vying for athletic scholarships this year.
Fantastic.
And their main requirement for that, outside of being a great student, is actually competing in that league. The reason why we chose those titles are, first of all, its popularity, but also it is one of our plans to cater to as many titles as we can, depending on the interests of our population. Mm-hmm. And a little side note on that is that in education, there's always been a discourse around what titles should education institutions play.
Right.
And so for us, our goal is always to not limit and say no, rather to teach what they should learn and not implement in real life, or take away the great things rather than just focus on the bad things.
Of course, right. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Gonna jump over to you two here, Angel, Charlie, and I want to find out right from the get-go here, how did you two first come to know about the esports program at NorQuest? Angel, let's start with you.
Okay, so actually, I discovered this esports program during the first week of semester. So they had a booth right by our stairs here at this building, and it was actually Noah that I met first, and he asked me, what games do you play? And I was like, I play a little bit of Valorant, Apex, Overwatch. He's like, there's a team in Apex and Valorant. You should try them out. And that's how I started. Okay.
And sorry, I'm curious then, what really motivated you to want to join, try out and stuff like?
Because to be completely honest, I've never really met or have friends that in this city, I guess, that play video games with me. Okay. So it was very surprising for me to know that there's an esports in the games that I play. Yeah. So that was initially the reason why I joined, because I want to have peers. Yeah. That would play with me, would hang out with me.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Charlie.
For me, I had to remember this was in the middle of my first year as well.
Yeah.
And I was just walking around and I went into the 5th floor and they had game drop-ins.
Okay. Yeah.
And I noticed they had Tekken over there. And being a long-time fighting game player, love Tekken.
Yeah.
I ended up playing a guy there named Dylan, one of my prior teammates. He was a really good player. But because I also had a lot of experience too, we were pretty evenly matched. And he was very surprised too because of the fact that nobody really wanted to play Tekken. It's a pretty hard game.
Yeah.
And after I played some more games with him, I met Carlo as well, and he introduced me to the team. And from then on, I've just been playing Tekken in the esports, the NorQuest Esports.
Love it. Carlo, how have you seen the program's role, and the college for that matter, in helping to grow the ecosystem so that you have more of these examples of folks coming by, seeing it in action, wanting to be part of something that they're passionate about, so that they feel that that sense of belonging and so forth.
I think that question is best answered because NorQuest firmly believes that this is a priority that we need to do. Right? Like our athletic program, our academic stuff, our community stuff, and even the business side of things, they're all part of NorQuest, right? We aren't doing one thing for esports.
Right.
We're doing the whole holistic view of having an athletic program at a post-secondary. Right? So with that being said, the resources that we get are put towards that student experience that NorQuesters are getting. And just to go back to what Charlie was talking about, that was very early NorQuest Esports, wherein he was talking about it 5th floor over there, and main focus was console gaming. Right. And we were fielding smaller teams and having the opportunity for, as he mentioned, his previous teammate, now our Tekken coach, by the way.
Nice evolution there.
he wanted to have a competitive fighting game to play. He's a big esports fan, right? So you can actually ask more of my seasoned either alumni or varsity players like Charlie, how things have changed every year, and sometimes in the span of 6 months, right? Like that rapid change is brought to you by NorQuest's like devotion and focus on having esports as a student experience, right? As an athletic program, as a recruitment tool too, right? So it's part of their strategy. So we can expect that our work has to reflect better every year.
Yeah. And speaking of like new things, everything, something new changes each year. Speaking of new things, you and I talked about this on part 1. Any update on Campus Clash before we move on? Any significant change?
So we are at about 6 school teams.
Nice.
And we are doing 4 titles definitively. We are doing Valorant, League of Legends, Super Smash Bros, and Rocket League. They will be running in November, and then we'll be announcing more of our stuff in the socials. But we are at this point just getting everybody's final rosters in, getting everybody's sizing, because everybody's going to get their Campus Clash jerseys for our youth that are registering. A little bit of a surprise there. We have some schools we have one school in particular that has 6 Valorant teams coming in.
Wow.
Jeez.
6.
Yeah.
6
Ooh.
Valorant teams from one school. And that's a new thing today.
Right, yeah. I love that. And I feel for you too, like, do you not wish like you could just go back to high school now and like kind of relive this to be part of that?
Yeah.
Or are you okay where you are now?
It's unheard of, even where I grew up, it's unheard of for, school to even be associated with video games at all.
Mhm.
And we love supporting our high schools that are prioritizing that. That it's
Right.
giving that limelight towards esports at a young level and not swaying or being scared of the responsibility of teaching them
Right.
what you can learn and have good experience behind the sport.
No, I love that. I love that. You know, going back to you two, you know, amongst other things, of course, lots going on as a student, especially in post-secondary, of course. You know, obviously we're talking video games, but at the end of the day, it is that extracurricular activities.
Mm.
So I'm curious, you know, just whether it's fellow students listening, your classmates hearing about this, you know, how do you keep that balance between, you know, gaming, esports, you know, and your studies and everything, especially considering with class, like there's a lot of screen time. It all adds up. You know, you're dealing with screen time on the team, but also in the classroom. So I'm curious, how do you balance all that?
I try to keep it as the same thing as, you know, learning a game and learning my courses. Kind of have to put the same focus or same attention, both of them. So, you know, as much as I can do my combos, I also gotta, you know, learn, you know, the justice system. You know, that's my course justice program.
Yeah.
And trying to at least keep the balance between, you know, okay, I put, you know, a good 2 hours into practicing this game. Let me also put a good 2 hours practicing for my midterm.
Right.
Definitely. So I have this weird personal system in which that, before I start doing my hobbies, which is the video games, I try to have a checklist on what I have to do. So that was especially during the summer when I was currently looking for work.
Yeah.
Is that before I get on my computer, I would either do chores, I would clean something, clean my room, and that's what I sort of implemented when I started going to school. With my classes, I try to do like, I try to equalize like how much time I spend in something.
Right.
So if I were to have like 3 classes that day, so I would do like an hour each, so that I can have an hour like playing,
Right.
you know, just practicing video games. So
Yeah.
that's how I try to balance myself.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keyword there is balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balance. Yeah, I guess then, you know, since being part of the esports program, you know, how has your college experience changed since this? Because obviously, you know, it's not just, you know, soccer or basketball.
Mhm.
You know, it's not your traditional thing that people are used to. So it's definitely a different kind of extracurricular activity, events. So I'm curious, how has that experience changed since, you know, coming to NorQuest?
I've definitely been at school much longer. Normally after class, I just go straight home. You know, here, you know, I hang around, you know, after my classes, before my classes, I'll come, you know, to the core, see Carlo, bug him for a little bit, and then, you know, go back to my class or go home and, you know, practice some Tekken. Or even on days where I don't even have classes, I'd still be coming over here and play some games.
Yeah, that is definitely true to me as well. That being able to be a part of this esports program, right? It also got me to stay here at NorQuest like longer. Before enrolling here at NorQuest, I used to be in another post-secondary institution, and especially me living in the south, it was definitely hard, like transporting here, like from my home to downtown. I was struggling, like just going from home to school and then school to home. It feels like it's a waste of time. That's why most of the time I would do online schooling. But participating here in esports now at NorQuest, like I enjoy, like I actually have a purpose of going to school because there's drop-in gaming. I get to meet my friends that I play video games with, and it was this Monday that was the longest time that I've been here at NorQuest. I was here for like 10 hours.
Oh wow.
It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
unlike other people that would be, I've been here like for so long.
Yeah.
It's tiring and not. No, I was enjoying myself being here because at the same time, like not only just me studying, but I was also here, like watching people like play games.
Yeah.
Doing the things that I like. I like it.
Love it.
I guess, yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You said you live on the south side. Charlie, whereabouts in the city do you live?
I live here now downtown, but
Okay.
I came in from up north, Whitehorse.
Oh, okay. So like, regardless, it's a bit of a trip, you know, when you're in Whitehorse, south side
Oh,
of
yeah.
Edmonton. So, but you kind of talk about that. You have that purpose. You have that extra thing that's really driving you to want to come because it's all part of the experience. You know, aside from class and you know, getting yourselves ready for your careers. I'm curious. Do you as you've kind of gone along now, do you find any parallels where it's like, oh, I can use this, and like you kind of talked about how you make a list and stuff to kind of organize yourself, but in terms of like the different disciplines that you're experiencing and learning, you know, the communication, the strategy, and all that, do you find any parallels between, you know, what you're learning for your career and what you end up playing with teammates and stuff?
Sort of answering that, we are starting a program where while you're in the esports team, varsity team, we're going to be having study sessions as well. So even on top of the fact that you're among your varsity peers, we're still going to be able to focus on class time and study for, you know, academia.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 2.5 is the average that they need to maintain to have that athletic scholarship.
Right.
And 2.5 GPA is attainable, yes, but like this shows really the balance needs to be mastered, right? Between you playing and you studying.
Right.
And we support you playing based of you being a student first.
Yeah.
And so Charlie kind of touched on it a little, but we are developing a lot more stuff for our athletics that's not just do your game, which is here.
Yeah.
Go to your practice, which is here.
Yeah.
And it's all playing.
Yeah.
We're making sure that their experience and the future experience of our student athletes is a lot more fulfilling. Development opportunities are going to come here and there, and we want it to be a more regular occurrence. One example of that would be starting in November, we are doing mandatory meta skill development with OTB academies, and all of our competitive athletes have to attend that. And they're not there to do aim training or you know, to do strategies.
Yeah.
They're there to learn how to make sure you are balanced in life.
Right.
Right? Because in everything that an athlete does, regardless of esports or sports, the things that they're good at and makes them different is the stuff that they can 100% change and adjust. And we often, as gamers, really don't think about that. We just want to get in, we want a game, then we got to get out, right? But in order to actually be better, to actually put in the stuff that you learn, you need to know how to change your habits, right? How to take advantage of your learning method and your critical thinking. So.
For you two, like, you know, what does that mean to you guys to you know, have this support by the college, you know, to really enhance that experience with esports? You know, it's not just, you know, a drop in at the end of the day kind of thing. It's a lot more elaborate. You know, I'm assuming, you know, I can only imagine what that probably makes you guys feel like, especially that sense of belonging, I guess. But anything?
I would say, like, going back to what she had said, it really gives much more purpose coming to the school.
Right. Yeah.
Because you can finish classes and you know you're done. You know, you go do whatever you have to do at home.
It's all integrated.
Exactly. There's that synergy between the esports and, you know, fulfilling our academia. That's why we're here. You know, we're first and foremost a student. You know, second an athlete.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have that synergy between, you know, the esports and academia, it's very nice. It's very nice.
Love it.
The one thing that I would like to add is that I guess I love how this college basically is supporting esports because it's also making it feel like it's welcoming to people who play video games, like especially this one at Drop In Gaming. This is when I discovered that, oh my God, so many people play Valorant, so many people play, console games, you know? And I find it warming, I guess, that,
You're amongst your people.
Yeah, I'm amongst my people, I guess, because it's sort of common like before, right? You knowing that you're a person that plays video games, oh, you're lazy, you're just standing there,
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a waste of time, basically. But
yeah,
I guess this is also making it sort of like welcoming. Oh, it's actually fine playing video games.
Exactly.
It can also be like seeing that, oh, I have other people that play video games too. It can form like a friend group, a community, basically, Yeah. And that's what I love about the college supporting this.
Right. Yeah. No. And, talking about that extra support and stuff, you mentioned scholarship.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
What does it look like?
Kind of, what does that look like? What does that all entail for students?
Yeah, like.
So when they're keeping their grades up, keeping the grades up.
Everybody gets a brand new car.
You guys get Teslas,
$5.
by the way.
Yeah,
we're gonna make that happen.
Sponsored by Oprah. We have a very humble start, right? We are always working towards the next generation of student athletes that we can help. Currently, the way that scholarship works is that if you are in a competitive team, which both Angel and Charlie are. Angel's in Apex and Charlie's in Tekken 8. They have a certain number of requirements that's part of the game in terms of quantifiable stuff that will show their progress or their work. It doesn't necessarily have to just be up and up. It shows the dedication that they're putting in to the game to be better. There's other certain requirements such as the GPA, right? But it's also one of the requirements is making sure that you're dedicated to being a student athlete. We have like a 3-strike system and everything. But right now it's $1,000 for the school year. And then there's other opportunities here and there, but that's what the scholarship looks like. What the scholarship that we want in the future is full ride tuitions. And that's what we've been told by our, friends in different PSIs that's been ahead of us for a number of years, because that's how you get talent.
Yeah.
Right? But right now, everybody has access to that $1,000 scholarship. As soon as you qualify for a competitive team, you now get to start in qualifying for that scholarship for the year end, right? But $1,000 is our start.
Yeah.
Last episode we talked about our 4 Xbox start. So.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love it. We just keep progressing. We're getting there.
It's the name of the game.
Yeah, it's the name of the game.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Patience is key. I guess for going back to you two, I'm curious, for each of these games, what is it about these particular games that you love so much that you enjoy coming in to actually be on a team and competing against other schools? Obviously, we don't have too many locally, which obviously is unfortunate. We want to get more of probably a strong Western League conference
actually,
as well.
Charlie can probably talk a little bit about a strong local presence.
Okay, let's do it.
Starting with the fact that when I first came here, I had no idea that, fighting games were as big as they are.
Right.
I just played them, at home by myself.
Yeah.
But even after coming here, we had like 2 people, a whole whopping 2 people, just me and Dylan, when I first started out. And when we first started out the varsity team, we soon find out later that there's a whole local scene. We have fight night every Wednesdays where a bunch of fighting game Tekken players, or even just fighting games generally, just come out and we come to this all one place, Overclock Gaming,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we just play.
Yeah.
It's very nice, the fact that we have a whole, scene even outside. Like, it's more. It's a scene. It's a
Yeah.
whole scene happening in Edmonton,
Yeah,
which you wouldn't have even thought of.
Yeah.
Happening here in Edmonton.
And Edmonton's kind of a hotbed, not just for Tekken, but for other titles, especially like Smash Bros. Too, outside of the education system. Edmonton's kind of trying to defend the western side of Canada in terms of who's the best at the moment. And it's very debatable, but Charlie and Kyle and Matthew and Dylan, actually, and myself, we are in the leaderboards in terms of Tekken for Western Canada. And it's a congregation of different fighting game communities putting their weekly's results into this leaderboard. And I think it's at 400.
Yeah.
I think the last time I checked, Charlie was at 38.
I'm at
That's
like
crazy.
50 or
You went down a little?
Yeah. I went down a little.
Yeah.
Gotta get back up. I gotta get back up.
But that's
Still,
top 50 and about 400 in Western Canada.
Yeah.
And that's just
I mean,
Tekken,
That is.
I mean, it's pretty good.
right? Like,
Okay, now I let it go to his head now.
I know, we
Kidding.
shouldn't, right? But yeah, like, there's a local scene for fighting games because that's quite accessible for Edmonton,
Right.
right? For Western Canada or
Yeah.
Canada. It's a hotbed for that. And then for Apex, Noah's a very hard fan of Apex Legends. And so Apex is supported quite well amongst the other titles. And we are trying to get them into all these different cool, like, outside tournaments out of ECAC, wherein the prize money is actually quite good. So, I'm sure if you ask Angel or Noah or their whole team, they're looking forward and training using ECAC to make sure that they can get in place fairly well in those kinds of competitions.
Yeah. So that's kind of the stuff you're kind of one of the areas where you're kind of building up towards, right? So, like, in terms of upcoming tournaments, things to kind of strive towards, what are some of those key areas, I guess, from the NorQuest side of things, I guess?
The key thing.
Like upcoming tournaments or big events, competitions that you guys are striving towards. If there's a big tournament being organized, I'm not sure if there's anything formally or.
So our athletes are in a new system this year,
Okay.
where they're told to do certain things and not worry about future stuff. In the future,
Smart.
they are. So for Apex, I know that there's a new league. I think it's either Octane or something else.
The one that's Telus?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Telus one that has
yeah.
big prize money. So that's what they're looking forward to. For Tekken, for Charlie, GameCon is going to be the biggest hill that he needs to climb.
Yep.
Training for that right now? Yeah. Always? Yeah.
That's kind of like our main priority in terms of where to go for Tekken.
Okay.
Because most of esports titles, uniquely, they're online based.
Right.
Even if you're playing locally,
Yeah.
Valorant, you still have to be online. League of Legends, you still have to be online.
It's not really an
Fighting
in-person
games.
component. Yeah.
That's a different story, right? That's side by side. And there's a big difference in your game online and when you're local.
Yeah.
So
People watching you. Like
Yeah.
people cheering
Yeah.
you on and stuff.
Right next to your opponent too.
Yeah.
our
That's
collegiate
true.
league is all online.
Yeah.
But really, the translation will show a lot more when they go to fight nights, right? They need to go and climb that ladder there.
Yeah.
But also represent Edmonton, together with the very strong representation of Edmonton already
Yeah.
at like stuff like GameCon Canada. And, there's all these other tournaments that are coming up too, that are in different spots of Alberta that they can look forward to. And Tekken would probably be our first guinea pig into traveling our teams. So
You're like,
That's
yes.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm for it.
I'm
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, let's do it.
That's why they were kind of like deer in front of the headlights when you asked them, like, what are they? Because we have developed a new structure in terms of getting rid of the things that they shouldn't have to worry about to the things that they should focus. It's a new and fresh take into managing an athletic esports program wherein we have coaches, they have their jobs.
Yeah.
Our athletes have to follow certain steps.
Yeah.
It's actually been quite a shocking experience for me from September to October just to see it and how much of a difference. And Charlie can talk about that part of how much structure compared to the free-form athletic program that we had previously. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I guess, like, you know, talk about that structure and, you know, what have you been learning as you go to strengthen yourselves as competitive players, but also like arming yourself with almost like a whole new skill set of skills and whatnot.
Well, it's definitely time allocation. For starters, back then we didn't even have to worry about a required time we have to practice. You know, we have certain practice days. We have certain practice. We have certain times we need to, you know, attend our fights or our tournaments.
Yeah.
And it's very structured. You know, it's not. I remember back then it was, you know, I'll show up to practice, optional. You know, now it's, you know, you are required as an athlete now under the varsity team to show up to your practice times. You're designated to practice times too.
Yeah.
this time they don't just have to deal with me trying to look for them.
That's fair. That's fair. Carlo and I kind of touched on this in part one, just around like health and wellness and stuff, 'cause obviously there's stuff, available when you're with the team and training and so forth, and things continue to evolve over time. But I'm curious, is just individually when, whether you're on campus or you're online at home or something, or even, as you go along with these future events and stuff, I'm curious, like, what are some of the things you've kind of picked up on that are helpful just to keep a fresh mindset, but also keeping yourselves nimble physically and stuff?
With the mental, I guess with the health aspect,
Yeah.
I would more focus on the mental health part.
Yeah.
We have pretty good constant access to messaging each other. We all keep in touch just via Discord, and anytime. And I'd say we're all pretty. The rest teams, even despite the fact that some play Valorant and some play Tekken, we're all pretty friendly with each other, And for the most part, I would say we have each other's backs. If really anything's happening, we can always, lean on one another, or lean on Carlo, or any of the other team, or other coaches, or anything like that. We can always just let them know, like, hey, this is happening, or, just confide with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the one thing that I would like to add is that I guess with being in a team, right? I like that we could pat each other's in the back.
Physically, right?
Yeah, it could be physically, it could be also just being personally goofing around.
Yeah.
I love that. I guess there would be tendencies that
Pat. It was supposed to be Pat.
Pat him on the back. There we go.
I guess there would be during in a competition that there would be huge loss. One of us would be like very devastated about it. I love that we're trying to bring each other up. Like, hey, it's okay. There would be next time. We'll just practice about it. And if it gets really bad, we play other games, and I love that. The one that we did previously was we played Dead by Daylight. It was something that some of our players play, some of us don't, and it was a pretty refreshing game to play. Something that's outside of our competitive scene.
Yeah.
It's like a mental break almost from
Yeah,
Apex.
basically.
Right?
Yeah, mental break.
Yeah. Within video games.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll never
Imagine.
know. Like with those mental breaks of playing Dead by Daylight, you might get good at it. There might be a varsity team. We'll never know.
Dead by Daylight Varsity. I don't think that's part of ECAC, but
No, I don't think so. But that's like
what
a little
is-
joke that we have.
What is part of ECAC though?
What?
And
Mhm.
I'm still looking forward to the day that I can say that I have a Google Maps Esports,
Google Maps? Is that the one
like
that's
a map finder, a
GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
Like
I'm so
Holy
lost
moly.
right
you have
now.
no idea what
I-
GeoGuessr is?
So
Yeah.
the short
Straight
version of it
up.
is just like, you see a picture and you're supposed to like, based on the picture, kind of figure out where
It is in the
Mhm.
world.
in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
Geographically, it's really hard.
It's got
It's-
big
okay.
tournaments in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Same as XL Esports.
Oh, let's go. Excel Esports. where
Yeah.
they have to
Excel?
form a whole
Microsoft Excel
document.
Esports.
That is wild.
I've heard of that one. Did not know about the Google Map. Like,
GeoGuessr.
oh,
GeoGuessr.
geoguessing. Sorry. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Okay, I don't. I,
You learn something new every day, right?
where do I go from here? Bringing it back, I guess, for that mental break. Is it geoguessing that you do for that mental break, or
no.
you know?
As a fighting game player, we just punish ourselves more with other fighting games like Soul Calibur.
Okay.
Me and my varsity team, or my previous varsity team, we just started playing Soul Calibur when we were like, hey man, I'm sick of Tekken. Let's put in the fighting game and remember all these combos and remember all this and that. The thing that stresses us out. But it's so refreshing the fact that there's different systems and we're kind of in a not as competitive sense as we are with our original game Tekken. So we just
Right.
like that.
Okay.
And sometimes we play Magic the Gathering, which is
Okay.
10 times more stressful.
Is there something that's not as stressful to take the mindset?
I think
away,
we
or-
think about stress in a very linear way,
Fair.
right?
That's
I
fair.
think stress for at least my athletes comes from the fact that there are quite a bit of more expectations now.
Mm.
Not
Yeah.
as go win a championship, but just an expectation of you got to get better, you got to train, you got to learn these things and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That in itself isn't a stress wherein like I'm stressed I'm going to be not able to do things. It's more of you get to a certain level of boiling point in your adventure or your time as an athlete.
Right.
You just need to get yourself a little distracted and personally to remind yourself why you love the game and why you want to keep moving forward.
Right.
I think that's where you guys were going into,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he mentioned Magic the Gathering the one time that he played it. Yeah,
Hey, it counts.
I
It
have
counts.
now recording that he plays Magic the Gathering. That's
That-
my takeaway from this. We can go and
That's
end
a
credits
clip
now.
right there.
I'm a
That's a
Magic
clip
player
right
now.
there.
What can I say?
Yeah, I'm curious. Looking ahead and everything for the two of you, like, does any of it sort of factor into any of your career goals, or a plan B, or what, as when you graduate from college from NorQuest, does it end? Does it keep going? What is that? Do you have an idea of what that could look like?
With me,
Yeah.
because I'm in just the field, I'm more of a, I'm more in the aspect of social work.
Right.
And after we had our whole experience at GamesCon, I was also helping out with the booth. We had a booth at GamesCon.
Yeah.
I worked with a lot of youth there.
Nice.
And I'm now, before I was thinking more working with parolees and stuff like that, probation officer.
Okay.
But now I'm more looking into social work with children
Nice.
because I think it's a lot more fulfilling working with children. Even the GamesCon, teaching them how to play Tekken,
Right.
even giving them that win, making them be like, oh man, you beat me, you're pretty good, man. You should keep playing this game, stuff like that. Interacting with children in that sense it's I feel very fulfilling.
No, I love that.
That's
Do you
so
tell
nice.
little white lies to him? Be honest. It's on
Charlie's
camera.
great.
Okay,
Oh,
moving on.
Charlie.
Angel.
For me, I guess esports is not really a personally, it's not really a career that I'm looking forward to, but the one
Sure.
that I'm trying to take in from being here in an esports team is that I guess the pyramid, because playing Apex Legends, we have an IGL, which means an in-game leader.
Mm.
He's they would be the person that would call out like where to go, who to target with.
Right.
I think I could parallel it to a career as well, like working with other people. Definitely, like if our manager were to be like, oh, let's focus on this, let's focus on that.
Yeah.
It's something that I've already experienced
Yeah.
by playing Apex Legends.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I'm trying to perfect. That's the thing that
Mm.
I'm trying to experience more.
And finding ways to kind of gamify some of the experiences
Yeah.
that you're interacting with and helping, people at the same time. So, no, I love that.
Freaking love that.
That's
That's
why
awesome.
I do this show.
Yeah, I can see that now, Cory. two episodes into our trilogy.
Took him long enough. Okay. I'm just.
It's okay. I'm slow. I get it.
You heard it here.
It's recorded.
For other students, whether they're already on campus or they're taking a break, looking into getting into post-secondary, whether they're just taking a break or just graduating from high school, what's some of the advice you'd give other students who, are interested, curious about the program, especially being at NorQuest, what would be some of the advice you'd give them?
I would definitely let them know that like winning is not everything. It's sure you're in a varsity team and it looks like, oh, like I'm gonna be the next like CS:GO major or something like that, It's not that at all. Really, I would say the focus is do what you need to do, academia, if it's even just like making connections, so be it. But really allowing yourself to find the space to find like-minded people. Like, I would never thought that we have so many Villavert players coming here, and you can make that connection here. And it's even to this day, like some players that used to play Tekken, I'm still in touch with them. They're pretty cool people, and making that connection and is a lot more important, and focusing on academia is a lot more important too. But just that sense of community that we have here would ideally be the full front of why you'd want to come here.
Yeah, I have the same idea with him too. It's like, don't be shy. There's a reason why drop-in gaming is here at the core, and it's open. It's not closed. Like you can drop in here and see, oh, I play that game. Why don't I try in? I tried joining in with them, and you start making friends. It would be another community, and it's a purposeful place to be.
What if I'm just not really into gaming right now? But, what?
That's still cool. You can always watch. You can ask people about it, or like you can maybe you find a game that you like. Oh wow, this game is actually really cool. Let me get into it. And you already have people who know enough about it to tell you more, introduce you, and teach you about it too.
There's so many times where I've seen somebody come in here and say like, I have never ever played a single second of video gaming.
Yeah.
And they go and sit with somebody, and I have never seen a time where anyone didn't want to teach somebody how to play their game. It has not been existent. Like every time somebody's like worked up that courage to be like, okay, I'll try.
Yeah.
I've never played a video game. The person sitting right beside them has always been supportive, has always been like, okay, we're going to do this. It's almost as if it's part of a gamer DNA.
Yeah.
And if you ask them about their hobby, they light up.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
I can see it right now. I can see it right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Like it's so nice to watch from afar, and it just unfolds.
The validation.
Yeah, it's super cool. So much so that now, not only are students taking our drop-in and all that kind of stuff, our staff actually has been taking notice of what video gaming does. And we've been getting so many inquiries of how do we get that into our team building? So like those are a few things that we're kind of figuring out as a bigger part of NorQuest Esports.
Sounds like you guys are going to be coaching the staff.
There's
your
probably
instructor.
that opportunity.
Maybe.
We'll never know.
Right?
You know?
So like I'm actually curious because we have Charlie and Angel. Angel's new
Mhm.
to all NorQuest Esports. She's taking it on from like knowing Avala's picture of what NorQuest Esports is from September onwards.
Right.
And then we have Charlie where he's seen multiple different evolutions of using what we have and then getting towards a better and bigger space. Like, what are you looking forward to, Angel, in your first year here with us? Outside of making new peers, playing your game. Like,
Sorry, he's taking over as my
Yeah.
co-host.
I know, I'm sorry.
And I love it, you
It's okay.
know.
I'm so
And
sorry.
it's okay. I guess it would be that to advertise it more, like in the city,
Yeah.
to have it more open, because knowing that NorQuest is the very first collegiate, just a first college that's supporting like esports, it could be an influence to other schools too, like
Perfect.
other post-secondary.
Yeah, we want to get everybody on board because
Yeah.
it'll be a lot more fun.
Oh
Tell you
yeah,
what.
definitely. It will
Yeah.
be more events.
It'll be so much more fun
Mhm.
once
Well, like-
everybody gets in.
Like
wanna
any
have-
other sport.
I want to have
Yeah.
teams against schools go against each other. I want to
Right.
have spats with, let's say a different school, Nate's
McEwen.
versus
Yeah.
McEwen, all that. I want stuff
Concordia.
like that happening.
You
Yeah.
can't say anything. Most of their coaches play for U of A.
Oh yeah.
Their campus rec clubs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, and like knowing their progress too for the past 3 years now,
Yeah.
and kind of helping them navigate that. I really do feel like it's just a matter of a short time wherein we can really be the leader in that space of getting
Absolutely.
the others
Yep.
on board, so that like the dream is we don't have to go far
Yeah.
to find people to play with.
You don't want to go to like Calgary.
Oh, I'm good.
You don't want to go to.
I'm so good.
I'm
Yeah.
fine. I'm okay.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Calgary. I'm just saying.
There's
but,
all things wrong with Calgary on Sunday. But anyways.
Okay.
That's a different story.
Yeah. For another time.
Yeah, sorry.
But I can see like there's that hunger, that drive to want to compete, play against the other schools in Edmonton, to have that
Yeah.
local tournament, that local league.
Because you can see it in the high school scene.
Right. Yeah. Well, I
It's
mean, you guys are already
strong.
also doing that with
Yeah.
Campus Clash. Like,
It's great. You're gonna see a sight to behold.
Yeah.
Like Angel, you should look forward to it. Like when
Gotcha.
they come in here and they enjoy what you enjoy, they're like, you see like big eyes.
Actually, with them interacting on our Discord server already,
Yeah.
it's like I can see like them being very passionate with them being so active in our server.
Mhm.
I look forward to it.
Charlie, Carlo mentioned like you've kind of seen the different iterations for a little while of NorQuest Esports. I'm curious, what's been your reaction to that? Just kind of seeing the evolution of all of this.
It's been very positive, and even the way it's been going, it's
Yeah.
very hopeful for one of my dreams, is just having Edmonton be on the map
Yeah.
globally. About like, yeah, we play fighting games, It's even starting out. It's been nice. It's slow at first, I'll say that, but starting like we're going to high schools, we're going to all these events, and we're really making name and having more people hear about, these games you can play with other people. Really invite a whole variety of people into like witnessing, the whole gaming scene become more social, a lot more bigger, and a lot more renounced too.
I love that. Before I move on, is there anything else you want to jump in? Okay.
I'm good now.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. Okay, brace yourselves. Rapid fire round.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
How does rapid fire round work?
I mean, it's not really going to be as rapid as I
Okay.
feel like it's going to be.
Do we
So
want it to be rapid? We can do it.
we can try, but I think I end up throwing a couple questions at the end that might take a little bit more thought, you know,
Okay.
so it won't be necessarily as quick. But as far as I'm going to take turns with both of you with these
Mhm.
questions, and for most of them, it's roughly 1 or 2 words. So just whatever comes to you naturally. If you need a minute, it's all good. And yeah, we're going to start with Angel.
Oh, no.
Describe your gaming style in 3 words or less.
Very, very loud. If you, my team and my friends would know, like I like when I play, I was like, I would scream, you know.
You'd be bleeping all of my words.
Oh.
Yeah.
That includes too. So.
Yeah. In the heat of the competition, describe the feeling in 1 word.
Oh, word, fight or flight.
Okay.
3 words.
Mhm.
Most challenging aspect of being on a varsity esports team.
Ooh, time management, definitely.
If you could play any game with any celebrity, who would it be and what game?
Oh my goodness, with the game that I already play, Apex Legends, I would love to have an opportunity to play with Post Malone. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Okay.
With he had this limited game mode in Apex called 3 Strikes.
Okay.
Me and so many of my friends like love it, and we've been waiting for it to be like an actual game mode.
Yeah.
And just him playing Apex, you know, I would like to play with him.
Awesome. One misconception people have about esports that you want to clear up right here, right now.
That video games is only for guys. Look at me, I'm a girl. I'm in a varsity team for Apex, you know, like ladies, you know, if you guys are interested into playing games, you know, like come out.
Yeah.
There's so many
It's for
I guess
everybody.
yeah, definitely. Like even with Twitch streamers like Kaide, Farting Litter, Pokemon, you know, like they're one of the big influences that women can play video games.
That's right.
That's when I want to showcase.
Cool. I love that. GG moment that'll live in your mind rent-free. Good game moment.
Meeting my boyfriend in a Valorant game.
Love it.
Period and stop. Roll credits.
Mic
And
drop.
scene,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
there we
Yeah,
go.
that's better than mine.
That's wow. Best date night ever. Like
It's cool.
First date.
First
You
date?
know, our first
I
date
don't
is
know
our first
how you can
date.
beat that.
we just went to the coffee shop and I think the mall.
Yeah, yeah,
So Angel wins.
yeah.
Right, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm here too.
You think you can beat that?
Kind of set the bar here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Describe your gaming style in 3 words or less.
Maybe this is 4 words, but I love to mess with people. I just love to mess with people so much, especially in fighting games.
Mess
Okay.
with people.
Mess with people.
Mess with people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mind games.
So in the heat of the competition, describe the feeling in 1 word.
Exhilarating. Very exhilarating.
Exhilarating. Okay.
I would say because just because you're putting your practice skills to test against someone else, it's very just exhilarating the fact that you get to apply that, show some people some new stuff, learn some new stuff too, adding onto your your already evolving skill level. It's just so nice to be able to go against somebody and show them, hey, this is what I learned.
Yeah.
Let me try to beat you with this.
Mess with them.
Yeah.
Mess with them.
Just mess with them. Most challenging aspect of being on a varsity esports team.
I would honestly say keeping up all the messages that I get.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie. Too many notifications for me.
Just your phone just blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
brand new for him.
Yeah.
That's brand new. Oh,
Very
okay.
new. Before
new.
it was like they text me on my phone and I'd see it like, yeah, I'll give that to in like 10 minutes or 10 hours.
Try that now.
Oh no, I'm good.
When I've discovered the do not disturb function on my phone.
I would dream of using that. I
Oh,
could
yeah.
get reprimanded.
Fair. No, fair. If you could play any game with any celebrity, what game and who would it be with?
Don Glover, easy. I know he'd be so funny. And honestly, I think he'd be pretty good at it too, whatever
What-
game he'd play.
What game would you guys end up playing? If you could pick one.
Can I pick two?
Sorry?
Can I pick two?
Yes.
Okay. Definitely Valorant
Okay.
or Tekken.
Okay.
Mm.
Would you let him win?
I'd be funnier that way.
Would you mess with him?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, honestly, I don't think I've met like anybody serious in a fighting game that would actually let people win, like significantly or on purpose. They will let them like get close
Mhm.
to
Fair.
winning,
Yeah. Okay.
but it will never happen.
Yeah. Just give that little inch
It's like
of hope.
weird.
Yeah.
It's
And then
so
just-
strange.
Done. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, you almost beat me. Yeah, I was just messing with you, man. Here, let me go full strength over here.
It's like, oh wait, I forgot I was left-handed. Like, it's like one of those things.
It's like anime incarnate fighting game, people. It's like watching Dragon Ball.
They have to learn. They're gonna
Have
learn.
to learn.
Wow, he's strict.
Yeah.
Okay. Or are you messing with me?
Mess with
A little
people.
bit. I
Okay,
let
okay.
children win. If they're younger than like 8, I'll let them win.
He's got a soft spot. Okay. One misconception people have about esports that you want to clear up right here, right now.
I would say that's a complete time waster. I don't think playing video games is a time waster. You know, you get home from like long shifts, you want to unwind.
Are you saying this to a parent or to a?
I would say the
Student.
older generation
Okay.
really, and maybe even some people on my generation too.
Yep.
They really believe that like games, they're like, you know, what a waste of time. You know, wasting your life. You could be learning an actual functional skill. I would argue that playing, you know, games like these, it would give you a functional skill. You know,
Yeah.
even be it faster reaction time, something small as that. I would argue that it's not a complete time waster. Also, just a good way to unwind too.
Unwind, communication,
Mhm.
you know, all that.
Make
Yeah.
friends, learn how to
Make
make
friends.
friends too,
There
stuff
you
like that.
Yeah.
She met her boyfriend on Valorant, so
Again, you've set the bar.
wait.
Yeah, I really don't know if we're even gonna go continue with that. Just kidding. I'm kidding. No.
Where do I even go from here?
Yeah.
Honestly, a GG moment, good game moment that will live in your mind rent free.
It won't be as good as hers.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it won't-
But
it
it's your
won't be.
GG moment.
My GG
It's
moment.
your moment.
My GG moment would be reaching first place in bracket at Overclocked, but the only thing, I mean, you know, I'm like, I'll say it. It was rock paper scissors. The games didn't work, so we were like, you know, let's have a rock paper scissors tournament, and I won first place. So
What was your go-to?
that was my GG moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What paper?
Was it rock? Are you
What-
more
what-
rock?
What
Were
was the
you
lucky
scissors?
choice?
What was the lucky choice?
The lucky choice was always going to be paper.
Huh.
Oddly enough, because everyone was thinking, oh, someone else go rock. I don't know. I somehow got in people's heads thinking, yeah, I'm gonna keep going rock. And then
Like,
I
I
went to paper.
remember this moment, getting a flood of texts. I'm like, I'm winning my bracket right now, and I'm like, and I was like, at that moment, like it took me this much work, and then it's like it's in rock paper scissors.
I meant to leave that out, but I'm like, I gotta.
You gotta
him.
tell
I gotta
him.
break it to him because he's gonna like check, and then
I don't know
You're
if I
like, all
continued
this
talking to
work.
them that night.
You're like all this work,
Yeah,
and he's
but
doing it with rock paper. scissors.
it's very important in fighting games, right? Like
Fair.
that's the first round.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, how about you now?
Cool.
When you're playing, and you're not giving them a hard time,
Yeah.
Please.
Describe your gaming style in 3 words.
A
or less.
lot of laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 3 words. Well, how do you spell a lot?
Jury's out on that one. I feel
Right?
like it's 2.
I
Yeah.
think that's 2.
Yeah.
But we're not in
Lots
English
of
class.
laughing.
Okay, lots of laughing. There you go. Okay. In the heat of the competition, describe the feeling in one word.
Stress-free.
Most challenging aspect of being on a varsity esports team.
Balancing not as a student and athlete, but also the personal life part. Like, I've seen that in all my athletes, how they have to take that on, and it's very challenging.
If you could play any game with any celebrity, who would it be and what's the game?
I hate that this is recorded.
We gotta know.
Too bad.
I want to record that part, but I hate that it's recorded.
Well,
Okay.
everything is getting documented.
Taylor Swift, taking it. Next.
I would not have guessed. I would not have
I
guessed.
never would have guessed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also unexpected.
Okay, since I've never really played, I'm just going to do that one. That
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
be Eminem playing Call of Duty. Just putting it out there.
Would it be like against each other or just playing like
On a team?
COD zombies?
No, not zombies. I'm just screaming like a child.
You just squeal, right?
I am squealing. It's bad. Like both of you would be like, what? What's he doing?
is that?
Indeed,
Who
sample
is
it.
that? And why won't they shut up? Yeah, no, that's actually probably on a team, separate teams,
Okay.
'Cause I
Ooh,
want-
against him.
I want to see how that goes. And then if I wave the white flag enough and I've died enough times, probably, okay, let's try the same team. We'll tag team and like work together, communicate. It'd be really weird to do it though.
You know, it would be even more fantastic too.
What?
is
Not
if-
screaming like a child?
Well, see, I actually think there's a good place for that.
I mean, if I swear
Yeah.
while playing Call of Duty, I'll know I'm in a safe place if I'm with Marshall Mathers.
Right?
But if he starts rapping, it's gonna be weird.
Imagine he raps when he calms. That'd be crazy.
Imagine if
If he wrote a song.
if the next U.S.
Oh my.
presidency is decided by a video gaming contest between
I can
the
see
two
that.
candidates.
I can see that. How good are you at mashing these buttons? And they play metas?
It'll be like Donkey Kong too.
We're gonna be here a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does this work? I don't know.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. GG. I've already asked you the GG moment.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna answer
No.
anymore.
No, that's
After
fine. No, you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
You're done.
and that bar is
Yeah.
just, it's way too high.
That's all I have for you two. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the time. And yeah, Carlo. Also,
That's
shout
right.
out to Noah and Migs in behind the camera. Huge shout out to them for making us all look good and sound good. Conversation with NorQuest Esports, though, isn't over yet. That's right. The trilogy will wrap up after we find out what the future holds for the program and what students can expect on and off campus. And of course, if you missed part 1, where I chatted with Carlo one-on-one, you can catch that, the latest episodes of Good Game YEG, and of course some community resources over at goodgameyeg.ca. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, please rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks again, once again, thank you so much, Charlie, Angel. Super appreciative. And best of luck. Keep training. Best of luck, and hoping to actually make it out to GameCon to see the competition live. So really looking forward to that next year. Don't mess with me too much. But I won't taunt you. It's okay. We'll make sure there's enough Red Bull on the stage for you. So, but yeah, until then, thank you so much, and best of luck for the rest of the semester and into next year. Sellarcast.